Welcome back to Zeke1 Plays. It's been a while, right? But this is an important moment, and I have a video to make, and I have some other ideas coming down the pipeline as well. So please, please, please subscribe, hang out if you want to be here for those videos. So the prices that have recently been revealed are being discussed like crazy, right? Nintendo is releasing their console at prices higher than we could have even imagined. But stop the negativity, though, because this is actually a really good thing. And these prices being high are a good sign of things to come. Now, make sure, like I said a minute ago, that if you haven't before, please subscribe. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. Click a like below. That helps the video get to more people. And stick around because we have more content coming about Switch 1, Switch 2, and all the things to follow. Also, one more note, the gameplay you see in the background is gameplay that I am playing here recently, and so enjoy the different games. I hope that you see something that you've played before. Now, what are the questionable prices that we're talking about here? Many of you have already seen these, but I want to go through them. First off, check this out. $449.99 is the listing price for the Switch 2. Base model, $450. $499.99 is for the Mario Kart World bundle, and then some different game prices. You have $79.99 for Mario Kart World, $69.99 for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's kind of what we're thinking might be the standard game price points going forward. And then we have $89.99 for Joy-Con 2s, if you're going to get more of those. We also have $79.99 for Pro Controller 2. The Switch 2 camera comes in at $49.99. It's a non-necessary, accessory that you can buy. And there's also steering wheels for $20. There's a few other replacement parts and little accessory add-ons that I'm not going to go into here because the two outstanding items of discussion are, of course, the Switch price point, $449.99, and the $79.99 Mario Kart price point. So first, let's talk about this Switch price. Look, I get it. $450 is a big pill to swallow right off the bat, and especially thinking about the fact that it doesn't come with a game. You might be wondering, how are you going to claim that this is a good thing? Well, we're getting to that. But first, to get the bundle with the game, the Switch and Mario Kart World, is $499.99. And get this, it doesn't even come with a physical game. It comes with a digital download so that you have Mario Kart World online only. You don't have a card that you get to keep. Well, the first thing I want to say about this is actually that it has something to do with inflation, okay? And so I don't know if anybody else has really shared these numbers, so I just want to show them to you to maybe put you at ease, and then we'll talk about the real reason at the end here why I think it's a good thing. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics offers an amazing little inflation calculator that can help us think about this a bit more academically, okay? So if you want to play with it, go to bls.gov to play with it yourself. But here you go. Let's go to this calculator and let's type in $299.99, which was the launch price of Switch 1 in 2017. And if you click that based on March of 2025, you realize that the buying power of $299.99 is now about $392.50, right? This is important because it shows us that even if you just took the Switch 1 price point and you inflated it, $399.99 was the lowest possible price the Switch 2 would ever have launched at in the United States. And Switch 2 itself is way more powerful than Switch 1, especially considering the DLSS up-resing technology that's being used to achieve 4K visuals at 60 frames per second for the gameplay, right? So when you look at that adjusted for inflation, the Switch 1 would cost about $392 today. $50 more gets you to that $450 price point, and $50 is not a lot of increase over $399, especially for what we are going to be getting, all right? And to be fair, I want to make this point too. Nintendo has never, ever produced a console where those of us consumers who bought it felt like we did not get the value that we paid for at the price point that it was launched at. Let me give you an example. The Wii launched way back in, 2007, 2006 with a $250 price point. That was very expensive at the time. For my family, there was no way that we could really afford it right out the gate. So we had to do some extra fundraising to get our hands on one, right? The Switch OLED launched a couple years ago at $349.99, and that seemed steep. But these two consoles in particular are some of the most best reviewed hardware pieces in Nintendo's history. Not to mention the new 3DS XL and similar handhelds that were kind of the deluxe model of the line. Some people go, why would you pay that for a handheld? And the truth is, Nintendo never ever has disappointed, even in the case of the Wii U or in other consoles that we feel like they didn't really last or they didn't stick around. The people who bought a Wii U at the price point that it was given when it launched did not feel like they were coming in under value. It was really the adoption rate and the lack of people buying stuff that made the Wii U what it was. People who had one enjoyed it and understood what it was about. Okay, so if Nintendo says that $450 is a fair price point for this amazing, unique piece of technology, we have no reason to distrust or not believe them. Every other console that they have launched has held up to and even surpassed the value that they launch it at in terms of value over time, right? So $450 to me, I think, is a great deal for this Switch bundle. We have no reason to distrust why they're selling it at that price. And again, I hope that $392 adjusted for inflation helps to open your eyes. You're really only paying about $50 more than what the Switch 1 launched at. Okay, moving forward, let's talk about those game prices. $80 for Mario Kart World. The world's first $80 game is a Nintendo launch title. Are all games on the Switch going to be this outlandishly expensive moving forward? Well, the answer to that is right off the bat, no. Because Donkey Kong Bonanza is only $69.99 and it's releasing after Mario Kart World. So what's the deal? And what about these rumors that physical games will actually be even more expensive? Well, again, we have optics and we have reality here. The optics seem grim, right? Nintendo seems to be paving the way for all games to be $80 moving forward. But they're also producing a game that costs only $70 at the same time. So you got, the Mario Kart World at $80. You have Donkey Kong Bonanza at $70. What is going on? I want to remind you of something you might have forgotten about, some of you. Think back to when The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was released. There was not a large outcry against this, largely because it was released in line with what other companies like PlayStation or Xbox were charging for their major games. Tears of the Kingdom released at $70 in a world where all other Switch games were $60, right? And some of us might have asked at the time, well, why are they doing this? And the answer was clear. This was a bigger, more innovative, deeper experience, literally, right? No pun intended, for everyone to experience, and $70 seemed like a fair price point for the extra work and extra love that had gone into this title. And this is what I believe Nintendo is going to do moving forward. It's my belief that Nintendo is going to begin pricing their games in tiers based on the realistic expenditures that the games took to create. It won't all just be about monetary budget, but games with new, built from the ground up systems, especially games with long lives or groundbreaking features that they expect to be around for a long time, the price point will probably be $80, right? But for games that are a bit more standard fare, or games that use an existing system or maybe took less to really develop from the ground up, they will come in at the $70 price point. So a good for instance here is, I wouldn't be surprised if a brand new Splatoon game in the next couple of years comes in at a $70 price point, especially if it's using the same engine of the old Splatoon, just with upgraded visuals, right? A brand new Super Mario Odyssey 2 would probably be a $70 game. However, a brand new Super Mario 3D experience that's a whole new engine and it's a whole new visual style, that one might come in at $80 because it's going to be around for a while, and again, it took them a whole lot more to develop it, right? So take a look at these three titles that we have revealed so far. Nintendo Switch 2 Test, I'm not sure the exact name of it, but the one where you get to walk around inside the Nintendo Switch 2. It's been revealed that it's going to cost $10. Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to cost $70, and Mario Kart World is, of course, going to cost $80. 3 price points and clearly 3 different tiers of innovation and quality. Instead, look back to Switch 1, where you have Breath of the Wild and, let's say, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and 1-2 Switch. All 3 of these games launching at, $60. And so we're already looking like we're living in a different world here, where games are being priced based on the quality or based on the amount of content that they are bringing to us. And I, for one, am here for it. I think the only reason we're against it is because video games seems like they've always been priced at a pretty standard pricing. The only people breaking the standard pricing has mostly been indie developers. And so for Nintendo to say, hey, look, we put extra love and attention into this game and we're going to sell it to you for $80, to me, is a commitment on their behalf to outstanding quality and a commitment to we are going to give you the best package that we could possibly give you. And for that, we're going to need a slight bit more compensation for all the people that have worked so hard on this game. And so, for me, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm going to pay the extra $20, and I'm not going to complain because I think that what we're getting in Mario Kart World compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to be an $80 experience over a $60 experience. And in terms of inflation and things, $70 is absolutely going to be the new kind of standard for games. And it could be that we see PS5 and Xbox Series games going up to $80 as well soon, but $70 appears to be where we're sitting, except for special games like Mario Kart World that are going to cost a little bit more. I'd love to hear what you think on this below. Name a title that you're hoping to see on the Nintendo Switch 2, and then tell me what you think the price will be. I think we're going to see a lot of $70 and $80 games. However, we may even get $40 games along the way. We'll see. All right, the third thing that I wanted to mention is really what the intro was about. It's a good thing that the prices are this high. And you might go, why is it a good thing? Well, it shows me that Nintendo has grown up. Finally, they are catering to an audience other than just families of small kids. Now, don't get me wrong. They're still catering toward them, and they're still going to have plenty of releases that come out aimed at families with young children. However, it is my belief, if we look at all of the trailers that have come out, and especially the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, they are targeting people that are Gen Z, millennial, all the way up to kind of like later Gen Xers, people that grew up with the Nintendo 64, with the GameCube. And even in the visuals of their trailers, you see the people that are playing, by and large, are people my age. People your age, people that are between, 18 and 35. They're the ones in all the trailers that are buying it. And guess what? For the most part, if you have a job, people in that age range, they have $500 to spend on a console at some point throughout the year. And so you might want to take that into consideration. Nintendo is giving us a higher caliber piece of equipment at a higher price point and marketing to us things that we've been waiting for, like a follow-up Donkey Kong 3D platforming game, which we haven't seen in almost 30 years now, right? And giving us something like an open world Mario Kart game, which reinvents the formula that we have been yearning to see like some sort of transformation in for many, many years. And in Metroid Prime 4, all of this is coming to target people like me, like you, who have been longtime investors in Nintendo, who have memories of growing up on the Nintendo 64, the Nintendo GameCube, the Nintendo Wii. And here we are getting maybe the most cathartic release from Nintendo ever, where it's going to be able to be played in 4K, 60 frames per second, rivaling that of the biggest consoles that are on the market right now, and at the same time, go back and give us all of the nostalgia rush that we're looking for from our childhoods as games are being ported, as well as being followed up with sequels and such that we've been waiting for a long time. And so I am excited where Nintendo Switch 2 is going. The higher prices, the craziness around the $80 games, it's all good. You know why? Because they're growing up and they're giving some of us older Nintendo gamers what we've been looking for a long time. And the family stuff is still here. It's still going to be around. Nintendo's still a family brand. I think they're okay if not everybody can get a Switch 2 until Christmas time or next year, because they know that us, the Gen Z millennial fan base, we're going to be picking them up day one, even if they cost $500. Well, that's my piece I wanted to say. Stay tuned. We'll be back with another video soon. These Switch prices have me excited, and that is why. So leave a comment below. Let me know what I got wrong. And, of course, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being here on ZK1 Plays.